Hello, friends. Welcome to In My Car on this Monday. We're brought to you by Ash Gregoire, Chambly Nissan, and K-Stop Gaspar and Depanura. A lot to get to today as I come to you from a Royal Montreal Golf Course. Proud to be associated with the Tee It Up charity endeavor. Their first ever tournament, the first tee, the Tee It Up charity, allows underprivileged kids to get in to the game of golf and learning how to play, learning the rules, and becoming part of the next generation of young golfers. And so what's going on now? This is their first ever installment, right? So I'm going to be talking to you about that later in the week and what that entails. It looks like we're also going to have a superstar golf extravaganza. Team Salikas, Team Stars, Team Gallo, Team Campbell. What we're going to do is each one of us, we're going to take three listeners. So Gallo, Campbell, Salikas, yours truly. We're each going to take three listeners. Y'all are going to come play golf with us, and we're going to settle the championship of the world once and for all with your favorite TSN 690 golfers. And we're going to have a lot of fun. And so stay tuned for that. We're going to get that tournament going. We're going to have a little meet and greet. We're going to have dinner. We're going to play golf. We're going to have a great time. I'm also going to talk to you about this company. This is a cool little logo. See that cool little logo? This is Red Rooster Golf. It's a Canadian company, and they're in the golf glove space. Now, look, this is not a paid advertisement. No one's paying me to endorse this. No one's giving me anything. This is just a pretty cool looking company with a great logo and a great golf glove. I'm going to tell you about that in a second. But let's get into the Stanley Cup final being awarded to the Colorado Avalanche. How about Arturi Lehkonen, guys? Arturi Lehkonen gets the Stanley Cup winning goal after he scored the goal that got the Montreal Canadiens into the Stanley Cup final last year. I'm one of those guys. I'm legitimately happy for Arturi Lehkonen. He was always one of my favorite Montreal Canadian players. Remember his rookie season where he scored 18 goals? Everybody thought, my God, this guy's on the cusp of being a 30-goal scorer. Who do the Canadiens have in this guy? And look, he found a perfect spot for his style of play. Everybody loved him. And why wouldn't you? Arturi Lehkonen's a very easy guy to like, a very easy guy to integrate into your clubhouse, into your system, because he does one thing and one thing very well. He works hard. And everybody appreciates someone who brings their lunch pail and their hard hat to work every day because you know you're getting an honest effort. So count me amongst those that cheered for Arturi Lehkonen. I'm glad my pick won. I had the Colorado Avalanche winning. If you followed any one of our best bets throughout the course of the Stanley Cup final, I was on Colorado minus a game and a half on a series price because there was really no value. Colorado was such a heavy favorite to win the title this year. It made no sense to invest in them. So the investment was Colorado to win by more than a game and a half. They close it out in 6 games, and our bet cashes. I want to talk about hockey and hockey journalism for just a second. I came out with what I thought was fine, a harsh tweet. I do not like, and maybe this is just the Canadiens fan in me. I associate the captain of the Montreal Canadiens with very prestigious position in the National Hockey League. Everybody watching me right now knows the story of the Montreal Canadiens. They know the rightful place where the Habs belong, and that is number one, the most storied franchise in the history of the National Hockey League. And maybe I'm being overdramatic, but it's how I really feel. If you're the captain of the Montreal Canadiens, I do believe that you owe something to the fan base. You're looked upon as a leader. You're the face of a franchise. And I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan of Shea Weber's ending as a Montreal Canadian player. And obviously, look, I mean, he's the last guy to carry a Montreal Canadiens team to a Stanley Cup final. So I understand those that disagree with me, that I feel as Shea Weber is the captain of the Montreal Canadiens, that he has an obligation to speak to the media, to speak to the media through the fans, and vice versa. He was the captain of the Montreal Canadiens. And from the day he was acquired, everything was told to us about Shea Weber as a character, high character guy, a big time leader. Everybody wants Shea Weber in their room. And that's probably true. I'm not going to disagree with what seems to be kind of unanimous. But I think Shea Weber failed a bit of a test. I'm not going to lie. I think Shea Weber failed a test. I don't care how uncomfortable he is. I really don't care. There are a lot of things in my own career where I'm uncomfortable, but I have to do them anyway. And I think if you're a fan of the Montreal Canadiens, I think you have the right to be upset. I think you have the right to question How come he didn't say anything ever, like at all, period? This is the guy that moves mountains, right? When Shea Weber speaks, everybody sits down and takes notice. Didn't you want to hear what Shea Weber had to say as a Canadian and his time in Montreal and how much he liked it here? Look, he's not going to say he didn't like it here, but I think Shea Weber failed a test, and I find it funny. I find it funny, and I think it's how the hockey world kind of works, especially in this country. You know, I had a chance to play golf with Scott Gomez a couple of weeks ago. Scott Gomez nailed it, man. When this guy told me that all you have to do is walk up to anybody in this country and say you played in the National Hockey League and you have them eating out of the palm of your hand. I think there's a lot of people that cover the Montreal Canadiens in this market that love being around the Montreal Canadiens. They love being in the room. I think they love being around the players. I think they like being in that world. And look, it's a special place to be. But I find it interesting that I go out and I tweet out a criticism of Shea Weber, and a good portion of the fans disagreed with it. I lost a lot of Twitter followers because I wasn't pumping anybody's tires. And I had a couple of guys whose job it is to cover the Montreal Canadiens, to write about the Montreal Canadiens, to ask questions about the Montreal Canadiens, that played the fanboy card. And I don't understand that. I really don't. The job is to cover the Canadiens, not to be their third, fourth leg of the PR firm and to pump the tires and to say, well, Shea Weber doesn't talk and that's just the way it is. No, I disagree. You think that flies in New York? You think that flies in Los Angeles? And I understand Montreal isn't at the same level as either of those two iconic American cities. But guess what? The Montreal Canadiens organization is right up there with the New York Yankees. It's right up there with the LA Dodgers in terms of clout, in terms of prestige, in terms of the amount of time people give to the team, the amount of time people take in consuming content that comes from the team. And what, you're not allowed to be critical? Because why? What are you afraid of? Shea Weber's not going to talk to you anymore? Carey Price's not going to talk to you anymore? The organization's not going to give you an interview? Or they're not going to let you ask a question? Because that's my interpretation. When people's job it is to report on a club, don't ask the tough questions or continue to back up the organization in what seems like an obvious, speaks volumes to me. And look, I'm not a journalist and I'm not a reporter. Full stop. I'm a talk show host. I co-host the TSN 690 morning show. That's what I do. It's not my job to go and ask questions. I have questions to ask. I don't find it to be an intimidating environment. And these players get paid a lot of money to answer tough questions in a market like ours. Full stop. And that's how I feel. That's my honest opinion about how I feel about the Montreal Canadiens and the relationship the team has with the fans and the media. So it comes from no other place. I've been very, very clear on this from the beginning. I am one of the few people on TSN 690 that will put my hand up and tell you I am a fan of the Canadiens. Full stop. It's been my favorite team since I can remembering. First team I ever loved, first team I ever cheered for, and it's the one team to this day I really still cheer for. That's it. I don't really have an NBA team. I cheer for the Chicago Bears, but this market doesn't have an NFL team. I was still a New York Yankee fan, an Expo fan, but there's no real baseball here. There isn't a lot of time to talk about Major League Baseball in this market. I like the Montreal Alouettes, but the Montreal Canadiens, like a lot of you, was my first team. First team, full stop. So I think as a fan, it's your right to question. I think it's your right to be critical. And I think you can expect that from people that cover the Montreal Canadiens as their career, as their chosen profession, as I do. And sometimes I come across as a fan and sometimes I'm critical because I'm going to end this rant on where it began. You're the captain of the Montreal Canadiens, and in my mind, that comes with expectations. Full stop. So I think Shea Weber failed the test. And, writing a statement, the team coming out of their way saying, hey, thank you for being so discreet with your charitable endeavors. Okay, I get it. Give me Saku Koivu any day, all day. Let's talk Red Rooster Golf, you guys. This is a Canadian company, redroostergolf.com, if you want to check them out. What they do is, so I've played 6 rounds of golf with this glove. Okay, it looks a little ratty, but look at this. Look at this glove. You see look at the wear and tear. You see any holes? You see anything worn out? It has padding. It has padding on the cuff area. This is some of the softest, most premium leather I have ever worn on a golf course. This is up there with the Titleist Pro Glove. This is up there, and I think it's actually better than the Soft Touch by FootJoy. And on top of it all, their logo is super dope. I love the logo. The Augusta green is super cool. It's so soft and it's so durable. I do not want this is 6 rounds. I'm going to play with it again today. There's no holes. There's no not even any wear and tear anywhere on this thing. And I'm going to repeat it. It's so soft, guys. Go to redroostergolf.com. They are not. This is not a paid advertisement. No one's paying me for this. I am just passionate about this glove. Because I'm a diehard golfer and I want you guys in on it. And it's a Canadian company too. And I love look how cool the logo is, eh? People see me on the golf course like, what is this thing? But it's durable. It's exceptionally soft. It doesn't get, like I played on the weekend when it was 40 degrees, like no sweat stains even. Like, how did they do this, man? And like quality Velcro, the padding here is nice and soft and it's cheap. I saved the best for last. It's like 20 for a golf glove. So like a comparable to this glove, you're talking in the you're talking in the low mid 30s to $40 for a glove of this quality. Trust me, I have them. Plus tax. This bad boy delivered to my house in one business day was $28. And I think they have a 40% off for a first time purchase, and they have a golf subscription model. So like if you play a lot of golf, you're a high volume player, you get you can get a glove a month sent right to your house. They're out of Ottawa, you guys. So that's my spiel on this. I just want to get to that. redroostergolf.com. Again, no paid advertising. No one paying me for any of this. I'm a passionate player, and maybe you are too. So go check them out. So soft. I love this glove. And that takes us to our best bets on this Monday. I got a 3-team MLB parlay that I think will work for you. If not, you can pick and choose from any of the 3 games, parlay them together, 2-team parlay, or just single bet it for what you like. 2 games I like, minus a run and a half, and that's the LA Dodgers at Colorado tonight at 8:40. And I also like the New York Yankees taking on the Oakland A's. The Yankees just split a series with the best team in baseball. The 2 best teams in baseball split a series. And the Yankees, of course, got no hit. Aaron Judge walked off in the 10th inning yesterday. And the biggest disparity in baseball in terms of quality, the best team in baseball taking on the worst team in baseball. The Yankees have more than twice the wins that the Oakland A's have. So I like New York minus a run and a half, the Dodgers minus a run and a half, and let's back the Blue Jays to beat the Red Sox tonight, okay? So that's our best bets, a 3-leg parlay, or take them all individual, single bets, whatever you guys want, okay? Thanks for watching. Thanks to K-Stop Gaspar and Depanneur for being my favorite sponsor of them all. And, of course, Ash Gregoire, Chamonix Nissan, Quebec's #1 rated Nissan dealership, online at chamonixnissan.com. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget Red Rooster Golf, fantastic golf clubs. And hopefully we'll see you. We're going to get our championship of the world decided. Salikas, Starr, Gallo, Campbell. Stay tuned for details in the